So what's a stem? So a stem is, I can explain it. So if you look here, so this is a branch, and these green things that are coming out are like really soft. So they directly lead to the leaf. So we're trying to get this one. That is a stem. So this is a branch. It's a branch, and this is a stem. So the stem is very soft tissue, which is a little bit different from the color from the main branch. So this branch can use a trunk texture, and this can have just a color. You don't need a texture for this. So how I'm going to do it in Speedtree is, I'll show you. Under materials, we just make a new material called stem. And if you go into stem, we only need the color. So under color, click on this color palette over here and change this to something like we'll try green first. Like if green doesn't work, we'll change it. So somewhat yellowish green, not a purple green. I keep it like somewhat like that, and give it some red slightly. So this might work. We have to try it out, and everything else you can keep as default. So in the secondary branch, I need more smaller branches. So for this branch, add geometry, branch tubes. So like they go crazy first. I'll go to perspective. Change interval to absolute, or you can use absolute steps. So in this case, I want to use, I'll just keep absolute. Absolute is fine. Under skin, change the radius to 1 with the maximum radius for the on the UV. Use U-locked, so it tiles properly. Now I want branches like starting from all around it. So go to gen. So one thing we can do is we can make branches come out wherever there is a small bend in the branch. So that is called bifurcation. So we'll just try it out. So go to bifurcation here. So like there's like too many right now. So you can just reduce the spacing. I mean, increase the spacing. So increase the spacing means like there'll be less number of branches coming out. And just increase the angle slightly. Now I think I don't need these two at the base. So I can just reduce the first one, first and second. So they will go away, and just reduce align is like slightly rotating. I also don't need this one. So yeah. Rotate it slightly. Now we got two branches here. They look really good. Now reduce the length. It's too long. Gravity to get that nice bend. And go to noise. There's some noise, late, some amount of turbulence, and reduce this reduce the radius. Like you don't need that much. Okay, so that is the first set of branch. I should use the same technique for all of them. Okay, now we will go ahead and make the stems for the leaves. The stems, when I talk about stems, these are the connecting pieces that start from the branch and lead them to the leaves. So we'll be making this section of the stem like something like a light green color that goes from the stem, from the branch to the leaf. Let's do that in Speedtree. So the next step is I will select one of the random branches in the edit mode. So this branch could be a good candidate for starting the leaf. So before going to that, I need to make a leaf mesh. Right now I don't have any, because under meshes it is still empty. So just add a new leaf mesh. I'll add, say, leaf 01. Give OK. So just keep it like that there. So we are not going to import any mesh. So we are going to make the leaf mesh right inside Speedtree. So go into materials, go into the leaf HD. Under meshes, there will be a selection menu here. So open this drop down and select leaf number 1 and just click on edit. So it'll show this warning, but it's fine. Just say yes. Now this window is Speedtree's mesh editor. So here we will make a mesh directly inside Speedtree. So this is a color texture. We cannot use a color texture to create a mesh. So the best way to do that is using the opacity. So click on this show opacity and just drag this, these red dots around. So they are called points. So we have add new point, this remove points, and reset points. So reset means if I click on reset, it will reset to this kind of square pattern, and I'll have to do it all over again. So I'll just go ahead and select move points, and just start moving these points around. So the mouse wheel will bring it a little bit forward, and holding the mouse wheel, you can pan. So bring this down, maybe get a shape, get a nice shape of the leaf. So when you click and drag, you can create a new point on this blue line. Bring this one down to the top of the leaf. This one may be somewhere around here. Zoom in, add one more point here. And we actually need to bend this leaf. So I'm going to add some more sections. We have one more section here. Then I'll add one here, another one, and just get connected to the top. So this will actually give us more freedom to bend with the leaf. And one more section here. It's fine. This is an HD texture, so it doesn't matter how dense the mesh is. Then now zoom out, and now the leaf is like hanging in the air. There's no pivot point. So this orange line and this white circle is where we adjust the pivot. So click on this yellow circle, move it down, and keep it below somewhere at the end of the leaf, and turn this dial here. So that's the angle. So pivot angle. So is the leaf pivot will be based on this one. So we have adjusted that angle. Now, unless you click on this the button to save it, there is no other option to save. So before closing or before clicking anywhere, click on these arrows. Save. This LOD 0 as a high. This may be LOD 1. It says medium. Click on this, so low. LOD 1 or something. I mean LOD 0, 1, 2. We don't have any low resolution model for this, but just keep it as the same for now. Now click somewhere outside, and we have already saved that leaf. So the bending and thing we'll do in when we import that leaf here. So we already have a leaf mesh. So go to generation, click on this branch, this branch, right click, add geometry. We are actually going to add again add branch tubes. So this time we will use a different method. So this time we are going to use something called fellow taxi. So under general, so under mode, select this fellow taxi. So what that means is it'll generate the branches based on certain pattern. So I'll show you an example of what that means. So here is an example of fellow taxi. So it has a lot of has different patterns, like alternate, like spiral, then opposite, bold. So you can use any of these to get your leaf pattern. So we are going to choose one of these. I'm going to perspective, and once I select this mesh, this branch, I'm getting these kind of patterns. Change the style. This opposite, you can just give alternating. Another one. So I'll keep the so this is a volt. Volt is somewhat like the last one, like it'll be like circles around. So you have to play around with it to get the kind of arrangement you want. So I'll select alternating, and there's one thing called intermode. Intermode length is like how much gap you need between each leaf set. So reduce it. Once you reduce it, you get more numbers into it. So I'll keep it at around 0.59 or something. Then spiral is a way like it will just twist around that branch. So that gives me a nice random effect. Now just change the angle. I'm going to spine, start angle, make them point up slightly, not too much, and reduce the length, maybe like that. And if you take a look at the reference for a stem, the stems are basically straight, like they don't have that tapering at the end, like they are like basically like cylinders. So I go back to Speedtree and go into skin and reduce this one. So move this end to somewhat like that. It doesn't have to be this thick, but it depends on how you want that to be. So here we will keep this percentage of parent to 0 because I don't want that to follow the parent. 0, and increase this one to maybe 0.05, 0.02, 0.03. I think 0.03 is good. So change the material to the one we just made for stem. The material change to stem. So now we have a kind of yellowish color. That is what we don't like. We don't need that. We'll change the color somewhat. Go to materials. Change this color to something more maybe greenish. Make it dark. Maybe somewhat more red. We will keep it like that for now, and we'll change it later. We work on it more. And for this too, give it a weld. So when you go to wireframe mode, you can see that it is nice. It has some sections. We can actually increase it. Go to segments, increase the length, relative. That is good. Going to shaded mode and going to skin, welding enabled. So now you're getting that nice bend at the base. Make it a little bit more bend. Increase the amount of the upper and lower amount. Upper scale. That will give it that nice bend. So I'm going to make a small change in the leaf. So for the leaf, go to materials, go to leaf HD. So this leaf number 01, go to edit. Now I'm going to slightly change the way it is done. Now I want this stem to be from Speedtree and not use the one which came with texture. So I'll just delete some of the points here. So use the second button, delete points. Delete this one and move these close to the leaf. That's good. Now move this anchor point to here, because that is where the leaf will start from, and just turn it to the right, just like that, and save it. Okay, now we'll bring the leaves in. So these stems will hold the leaf at the end. So go to generation. So this one will be named as stem, and select the stem. Right click, add geometry. We will add a leaf mesh. Right now the leaf mesh is just coming on the side of that particular branch. We can do another thing just to make it pop at the tip. We want the leaf to be right here at the tip. So select the leaf mesh. Then under mode, absolute is fine. Change number to 0. So nothing will be spawned. Then there is something called under shared group. There is something called extended parent. So now that is set to none. Click any. So the leaf mesh is now like they are just popping at the end of those branches, those stems. Now change the material to leaf HD, and material to leaf 01. So right now you're getting those leaves on at the end of those stems. But now the problem is the stems are too thick. So reduce the stem size slightly. Go to skin and reduce the absolute radius to 0.1. No, 0.01 or 0.015. That should be good. Look from a distance, like if it is good, I think it is good. You can make a slight change to it. So go to skin again. Radius. Increase the radius to slightly at the base. Increase it. So you can use the profile curve to do it to get that effect. This for the base. Slightly. Okay. Now you can get more randomness to the stem by selecting it. Now the length is a bit too long, so I'll just reduce it to maybe 0.11. Also, I need variation in the length of these stems. So right now, like they are all the same length. So I'll just use this button here, like plus or minus. That will give me more randomness to it, and just increase the value so I can get not too much, but very slightly. Also, I need to make this a bit go slightly up, angled up slightly, and give the stem some noise under spine, late amount, so a little bit of twist, and that will give me more variation. And if you think the leaves are like too flat, like if you look from the side, that leaves look like they are like cards. So they are cards, but in Speedtree we need to make sure that they don't look like cards. So how to fix it? The leaf geometry, select them, go to orientation tab, and under this we have deformation. So there is a fold, there's a curl, and it's a twist. So fold is like the leaf will fold up slightly, so that will remove that flatness to it. I can give it some variation to it, like click on this one, so all the leaves will have various effects on it. And curl is like it is slightly curl. Even this one I can give a little variation. Then also, so this leaf is kind of too much, I think. So release the curve. Then twist is like the leaf will turn slightly on its axis. Okay, so that gives a little bit of variation. I think it is too much fold. Yeah, a little bit will do. That will make it look more natural. So that is the amount of leaves here. Then we need to do one more thing. Like look at the tip of the branch is like empty. So we need to add a branch there. So select this one, and just the same way we did for the leaf, we need to make sure that one of the stem is popping out at the tip of the branch. So go to General tab, and then use this extended palette any. So that will actually bring about this same mesh over there. But the problem is that extended mesh is having the same material as the bark. I don't want that to happen. So extension. So this branch is like using the stem material. Extension is using the branch by default. So I'm going to add a material here, and I'm going to use stem. So that look like that branch tip is also having a separate, stem. So if you think the stem is too thick here, select it and go to skin, reduce this slightly. That will match. Now that is perfect. Now that is how you create those kind of those small branches on the major leaf. I mean on the major branches. Now if you go to the perspective to the side view, you can see the leaves are now getting that really nice look. Now you have to manually adjust them. So select the branch, press tab. So rotate. You can actually change the angle, start angle. You can even go to perspective if you like. It is really hard for you to do it here. And just rotate it slightly. Even you can select the leaf and just rotate it. So you get all the different angles here. So out rotation, this is up rotation, and this is right. So we need right. For this one too, you just try a little bit of up, a bit of out rotation, and right rotation. So we can get some randomness to it. Even this leaf, slightly adjusted, like if it is like it is facing the camera on the side view. Now if I look from the side view, now that looks much better than the previous version, right? So also you can press tab and move the leaf wherever you want, but make sure you are selecting that small stem, not the leaf or leaf itself. So once we finish all the leaves, I will come back. Just keep watching. Okay, that is pretty much the leaves on the third level of branches. You can find out the leaves at the tip of all the branches. Now what we can do is we can get some variation to it. So right now the leaves are all the same color. So what I'll do is I have made a slightly different tone for the green leaves. So the materials I'll just rename this as leaf green, and make another one, leaf yellow. And what I can do is I can actually copy all these from leaf green, copy, go to leaf yellow and just paste it. So I get all the normal information, opacity and color. So just change the color, click on it, and click on this button with 3 dots on it and get this yellow. It's slightly different, but not much. Now this leaf 01 can have 2 different colors. So I can do that by selecting the leaf of one group, then go to material. So right now the material is leaf green, so I can actually add click on this plus button here, add material leaf yellow, and mesh is leaf. So I can actually give it some weight. So if you want more number of green, maybe I can just make it around 3. So there'll be less number of yellow in there. So in this whole set, what right now I'm seeing is like it's just half and half. So increase the number of green, reduce the number of yellow. That's good. Do it for the rest. Not all of them, but we can just give it some of those. Yellow, mesh 01. So that is good for this one. Add material, leaf yellow. Oh, that is good by default. So like that, bring in some variation to it. Also leaf size looks like almost same for all of them. So I can just select all the leaves. Then under skin, this is size spinner. So click on this plus or minus button and just increase the value. So you can have some variation to the size. So now they are like more random. Yeah, that's pretty much of the basic leaf HD texture. You can also add more variation by bringing in more different types of leaves. So what I mean by that is under meshes, we only have one leaf right now. So add a second one, leaf 02, and give OK. And under leaf 02, go to materials, add. So we need to add the meshes. So under material settings, we go to mesh tab, click on this add button, and add the second leaf. So the second leaf is added. So go on edit mode, click yes. Now we can actually choose some of the leaves. So here the leaf all of the leaves look the same almost. They're like there is not much difference, but we can just try, just give a different look to it. Maybe this leaf is more, more noisy or something. Remove this axis to here and just rotate it backwards slightly. Save. So you got leaf 2. So now I will just click on any of these, and I can actually change this yellow leaf to leaf. Oh, I haven't added that. So sorry. Go to material, add, on leaf 2. So you got 2 leaves there. Select this, leaf 1, leaf 2, So you got a different, slightly different variation. So you can even change the texture and bring in some, some kind of holes in it, or some kind of dirty, some dirt path or stuff like that. So the next thing I did in the previous version, which I was showing here, I just unhide the stems. So these are the stems I did for the previous version. You can actually get really nice bend on it if you spend some more time. Then these are the leaves I made with some size variation, color variation, and like some of them are like really bending down like that. So that will give it more natural looking appeal. Then I have some lumps on the trunk. So by lumps I mean stuff like this. So if you look very closely, like you can see some variation in the thickness of the trunk. So how I'm doing that is going to this select the main trunk. So under right click, add geometry, then under decorations you can choose lump. So by default you will get only one lump here at the top. If you go into wireframe, you can see that it is just one extra geometry over there. So go into these properties under geometry and change the size. Then under segments, is reduce outer segments is like so those are the rings, the main rings. Inner is like slices. That's what I want. So keep it as like maybe around 10. Code is good. You don't have to change anything else. Then the overall size, the geometry, make it slightly bigger. Right now it is only happening here because I don't have any numbers. So increase the number, maybe around 20 or 30. 30 is good. And you already got that variation in the trunk. So go to wireframe mode and see that those lumps are giving that nice details to it. So after doing all the leaf meshes, the stems and all the branches, we're actually done with this HD texture. So the next task is to export it as separate channels. We only have this this lumps on the main trunk. So I'm not going to export from this file because it was only a test. I'll be exporting it from the version I did. Is it right here? So this one got lumps on the main trunk plus the lumps on the branches too. So you can use the same technique I was showing you last time. So the only difference is I got some extra branches going on the main trunk. I think I only did that on the main trunk. So those are actually a stem, which you can see here. Those are just literally the same kind of branches with some nice it's the same kind of branches with the same kind of welding on it. For this skin, you can see the welding is really high, the spread amount. So keep it really high, and under the Gen tab, you got same as the fellow taxi, and there is an interload. Internode is like really low, so I can have multiple numbers of those branches. So the only thing I was concerned about was a tip. So there should be something to cover it up. So to cover it up, I used another branch node, and just I don't know what I did on this, but I was able to cover it up. Try using different different tools in Speedtree to get that cap, because from far you won't be seeing it clearly. So it should be fine. So like those look like broken branches. So if I go to the side view, you can see that See that, like, they look like they have a really nice appeal. Okay, next thing is I will show you how to export this into different channels. So Speedtree has the tools to directly export from it. So you go to File menu and choose Export Material. It will show this dialog box. So whatever you're seeing here is there by default. So you had to change it. So once you save the file, should be able to save the settings for that session. But once you close Speedtree and open the file back, you will lose it. So every time you will have to enter the information. So the width and height, I am going for 4K. So 1496 by 1496. Keep everything else checked like default. Don't have to change it. Then these are default materials. So this is for color. Just type color. I hope opacity is fine. Normal is fine. We don't need gloss, so just we can close it. AO I'll have to generate, so that is good. Subsurface we don't need right now. Subsurface amount we don't need. So for that I will just write roughness. So in roughness I can change this to specular. So specular is a channel which we need to use to get the roughness. Now when you click OK, it will ask for the file save location. So I'm actually saving it to textures, vegetation, trees, this wall tree source, HD textures, HD leaf. This is textures Speedtree exported. So so we have a leaf color, then leaf HD normal, then we have a leaf HD opacity. You can use this alpha mask. Then we have roughness here. Then ambient occlusion is not very clear because we need to bake it inside Speedtree. So that's pretty much it. So just hit on save. It'll save all the texture maps. So I made one more HD texture just for the branches without any leaves. So that is right here. So I named it as HD leaves HD dry 01. So this we need to use as a branch. I will show you why it is used for and where it is used for the final tree. So I'll just hide these for now. So select them, and when you press H, you can hide them. So this is just another trunk tube. Then we have a couple of branches going up. Then there is some more branch because we don't need any leaf for this because we're not supposed to use leaves for a dry branch. Then the lumps are the same as the previous one, but very less. So export this as usual, just like the way we exported for the previous material. Export material, then select everything, and 496 give OK. And Speedtree wrote this as this one here. So we have a color map. So we have a color normal. Then we have an opacity, specular, and subsurface. Like we don't need them. So that is pretty much it for the leaves. Now we will jump to substance. So here we will start a new file. Go to File, New, Substance Graph. I'll just name this graph leaf underscore 01. It doesn't matter. We can name it as like any way you want. So choose size as 4K by 4K as parent size. So everything else is good. Choose template as metallic roughness and give OK. And just save that file as, show you the same name, leaf01 SBS. So that should be good. Now we will just temporarily keep this as is. I'm not going to change anything here. Once we finish our graph, we can just connect everything. So I'll just choose the scene as just a plane. Then we'll start importing all the textures we rendered in Speedtree. So go to leaf 01, link bitmap, and get all the bitmaps. So this is the textures we exported from Speedtree. So the HD. So the first The first section is like this is AO color. Then we have the normal opacity. Then we have roughness. This is for the dry branch. All the separate channels: color, normal, opacity, and roughness. So select all of them. I'm just going to press Ctrl A. Select all of them. Then just give open. So Speedtree, sorry, designer imports everything into resources folder. Again, save it. Now I'm going to bring all these textures into designer. So this is the leaves, all the 5 textures, bring it here. For the opacity and roughness, it has to be grayscale and AO. Just do a little bit of rearrangement here. So this is alpha. Alpha has to be at the bottom, at the base. Roughness. So that is good. Keep these textures here. Same thing we'll do for the dry branch. Bring everything in. Do a little bit of shuffling, like the AO, opacity and roughness have to be grayscale. It's up. This is the opacity. Bring it down. I think this should be the roughness. The roughness, AO, and opacity. So keep them like that, arranged. Then we need to combine these two groups into one texture. I mean, into one material, and plug that into the outputs. So how will we do that? How can I combine everything into one material? Because we have 2 separate materials here. So for that, I will use a multi-material blend. So just type material. We got this multi-material blend. So multi-material blend is a node which I can assign different sets of materials, and they will give me one single output. And for this, I can actually connect 16 different materials and just get one output. So we only need 2. So just set 2 here and turn off and on some maps here. So I don't need diffuse, base color, yes, normal, yes, specular, no, glossiness, no, roughness, yes, metallic, keep it, yes, then height, I don't need, then ambient occlusion, and I need opacity. So all these will be the input, then these are the outputs. If you look carefully, I have base color, normal, roughness, metallic, ambient occlusion, and opacity. Then we need to mix these 2 into one. So for that, I will use transform node, material transform, because I need to move these textures around as one. So all channels have to move as one unit. So I'll use a material transform here. It is the same thing which we did here for these 2. Diffuse, no. Base color, normal. Specular, no. Then glossiness, no. Roughness, metallic. Height, we don't need. Ambient occlusion and opacity. So those are the channels we need. If you check here, you can see all of them are there. And we need to do one more thing here. I don't need any tiling for this. So material transform usually tiles by default. So I can turn that off by selecting the transform node and going into tiling mode. Open this menu here and choose absolute and turn this into no tiling, so it won't tile. So I need 2 of them. Select copy and just paste it. So these 2 are the same. Now start connecting all these textures into it. So color, normal, then this is roughness. Metallic, I'll use just a color. This is ambient occlusion, and this is opacity. And for metallic, I'll use a black. Metallic is black. I use the same metallic for the other one. Then for the second material, color, normal, this is roughness, ambient occlusion, and opacity. And for metallic, I'll just use black. So these two are now all channels are connected. Now we will just connect these two to this material a multi-material blend. So we have two materials here, material 1 and material 2. So one thing you need to be careful about is material 1 is a base. You can actually you don't have to assign any color ID to it, because that is a base. So there's a node called there's an input node called color ID. So we have to create this color ID once we finish all plugging in all these into this. So what is a color ID? So color ID defines what color this second material has. Material 1 has default color, and material 2 we can define our own custom color. So right now by default it is green. So I will change this to a red, just for the ease of ease factor. So just connect these two. So this is material 2. I just move this up so it'll be easier. So base color to base color, normal, roughness, metallic, ambient occlusion, and opacity. Same thing for the second one. Then color, normal, roughness, metallic, ambient occlusion, and opacity. So only one left is our color ID. So for color ID, before that I'll just name this as dry branch, and this one is color branch. That will make it more organized. Now we need to define a color ID. So color ID, I'm going to do like this. I'll be creating two separate colors, just using this color node, a uniform color node, and just assigning red to this. And this one can have any color. So we will do that first. So get this color, uniform color, and change this to red. This is for the dry branch, and just copy paste and give this some color. I'll just give it blue, some random color, and to we need to blend these two. So I'll use a blend node, blend. So add the first color here, and just use the alpha from the first one. Move it here. So I get this red color cleanly cut out through the texture, and you can just collapse this. So press D and collapse it, and I'll use another blend node for the base. Plug in this color to the color and get the alpha from the green branch and collapse this. So we have two separate colors with well defined borders. So that's for the dry branch, and this is for the main branch. So now we need to blend these two into one. So I'll use another blend node and blend this one for the first and this one for the second. Now these two are clearly on top of each other, but we can easily manage it using the transform node. And I will plug this color ID into this node. So now our multi-material blend is complete. Now if you look carefully, you can see the dry branch floating on that first texture. So the whole purpose of using this method is because you can independently control these two materials using the transform node. So all the channels will be transformed at once at the same time. Now we need to connect these into the output. So color goes to color, normal goes here, roughness goes here, metallic goes here, ambient occlusion goes here, and we have height we don't need. There's one more node to connect, that's opacity. So opacity will be connecting through another node. We'll just do it in a second. I'll just clean this out. Okay, So for opacity, what we need is, we need an alpha merge. So just type alpha, use alpha merge. So alpha merge is like, it will merge the color and alpha into one node. So for this color, you get the base color, and for alpha, you get from opacity and connect it here, and use this as the output for the color. So for the, when you double click on the color map here, you get this the whole texture as one, and just turn this on, show alpha on the texture sampler. Then if you scroll this up, you can see the dead branch is right over the green branch. So this is where we can really use this, the power of material transform. Now if I click on this and drag it here, I can just drag the dry branch independently of the main branch. This is the main use. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Now what we'll do is we'll just scale this down slightly, the main branch, because we need more space for the dry branch. So just bring this up slightly. So I think I need only this this top space for the dry. So select the dry branch again, scales down. You can do whatever you want in this transform node, because it's very easy. Then just rotate it. Find a good spot to have it. Maybe what I think is like the top is good, because I have some space here. So drag it up a little bit. You can even use your keyboard arrow keys just to get that precise location for it. You can even scale it non-uniformly, and all channels will get updated. That's the main reason why I'm using this. We look at normal, got updated. This is roughness, and this is the metallicity is the same, black, and this is a ambient occlusion. So all channels got updated at the same time when you use material blend. So I just renamed this group as output. I just get output just to keep it more organized. That's all. And this one as color ID. So that is pretty much it for this texture. So once we do this, we get all the channels ready for export. So only thing I would like to do next is to resize this multi-material blend. So right now it is showing as 4K by 4K, and I plan to export only half of it. Like I just need 2040 by 2048. So select this, and I mean multi-material blend, and just reduce the width and height by 1. So the output will be 2K, all of these, all the channels, and input is like everything is 4K by 4K. So that will give you the maximum quality output. Now, as an extra step, if you look at here, the only problem is that this texture does not have any dilation. So dilation is a little bit of like color bleeding at the edges of alpha, just to give it that nice outer edge. Now if we take this into game engine, and if you try to render it, it might give a kind of white outline around wherever you see the alpha cutout. So dilation helps with that. The base texture comes with dilation already. If you look here, this one already got dilation. So this is like by default from Speedtree. You already got dilation, and alpha cannot show you any white. But the problem is this one is the dilation is already cut off, because it is the level 1, material 2 in the multi-material blend. So how can we fix it? How can we get some dilation for this, just for this one? So how we can do that is, if you go to ArtStation, because a designer doesn't come with a dilation filter. I cannot find it, because if I try to find it like dilate, there's nothing like that. So go to artstation.com, and if you go to marketplace, and if you just type in dilation node, you'll get this very nice dilation filter. So it is free. for personal use. For commercial, they charge around $5, but that is perfectly fine. Just download this and open that that dilation node inside Designer. So how will we do it? So what we can do is you can just download it and that specific folder wherever you have that file. And this is the one I downloaded, dilation.sbsar. So just download it, drag and drop it into your Designer, and it comes with dilation 100, 10, and 50. So that is the how much distance it has to dilate. That's what it says. So in our graph, just drag and drop this. Maybe I'll just take dilation 50 and try how it is. Just drag and drop into our graph, and it has a dilation input of the color map, and dilation output is right here. So this has to be done right after the alpha. So you have this alpha merge node. So get an input of that color. Now if you check, you get nice dilation around this branch. So right now it is set at 50, and if you and they also give this blur intensity. So 0.2. If I reduce that blur, if you need like really sharp, you get really sharp outer edges. Then there's an alpha tolerance. Increase alpha tolerance. I don't know if this has any effect. Yeah, keep it at 1. Then iterations. You can reduce it. You can reduce the length of that dilation. You don't need too large. Too much of large dilation. You don't need that, but this is perfect. So this also covers the whole branch. So that will give it a nice uniform appeal. Connect this dilation node between the alpha merge and the base color output, and connect this original alpha merge. So it merges like original plus alpha plus merge. So that output, and this output has that dilation already in it. Now if I turn off this show alpha, so it will show the dilation. So that is how you bring in the dilation plus very clean render for final export. So we have dilation here, and we have the output. So save your file, and once you go into this export outputs, you can specify whichever format you want and just export them into the final as final textures.